What's up, beautiful people? This is Pretty Girl Loves Trap Content. This is my recap slash review for We Own This City Part 4. You guys, let's talk about this Wayne show, okay? The Wayne Jenkins show that they presented to us this week, okay? Because your boy is off the MF and hook, okay? So let's get into it, okay? So we start off, it's 2010, okay? Your boy Wayne Suter and yeah, Gwen, they are on the stakeout. Okay, it's 11:30 in the morning. Okay, it's never too early to get some bad guys. Well, we are the bad guys technically, but the bad guys hunting down the bad guys. All right. So your boy Wayne, he got his ear, his eyes, and his nose to the streets. Okay, so we are doing a stakeout. Okay, so we're looking at this black Acura on the street. It's parked, okay? We see this young African American male with a book bag, and he's entering this said vehicle, okay? And yeah, your boy Wayne had a theory, okay? He said if you're over the age of 18 with a book bag, you ain't got no books in there, bruh. You are not a student, okay? There is no need for a book bag if you are over the age of 18 in Baltimore, Maryland. And I'm like, you know what? And I can see, in some cases that to be true, okay? I can see you carrying the bricks up in the book bag, but there are, people that do go to college. If you are in New York City, everybody got a book bag, bro. Most working men are carrying a book bag, okay? Because you never know what's gonna happen on New York streets, okay? You probably got to change your shoes, change your clothes. You got all types of things, okay? Now, we got masks we gotta carry, hand sanitizer. Like my uncle book bag, he be having the supplies, okay? But we ain't in New York, so I'm gonna be quiet. We are in Baltimore, Maryland at this point, okay? So Wayne, he was like, I got a hunch, okay? So Suter, he was in another car. He was like, let's go get these fools, okay? So they are in a chase, all right? This Acura proceeds to drive on the grass. I'm like, okay, do you think you're in a Jeep, sir? Like, what they do that? So they are in high speed chase, maybe a few blocks. Long story short, it ends in a crash, okay? So they crash into this vehicle with these old folks. And they end up killing Grandpa Jones. Grandpa Jones was driving, minding his own business, probably coming from the grocery store. Bingo. His physical therapist, Lord knows. His wife over there in the passenger seat, she's over there just in disbelief, shock, and just frustrated. And Wayne, he shook. He shook because he knows this is the BS, okay? And yeah, come to find out, there were no drugs, no guns, nothing in the vehicle that they were chasing. These two young black men were fine citizens, okay? They had on nice khakis and shirts tucked in. Like, come on, man. Why everybody gotta be a thug, Wayne? Why everybody gotta be a thug, okay? So, of course, Wayne, he's so scheming behind. He's over there. Ambulance is on the scene. Okay, some time has passed. So we see that the vehicle was searched through and through. He gonna tell Suter, "Hey yo, search the car one more time." I'm like, "Didn't y'all do a thorough search? Like it's not making sense to me." Okay, and so under the seat he finds some drugs. Of course, the gentleman he was like, "Nah, bruh, you set me up. This is not. This is not my drugs, okay? Like, what are you doing?" And so I did peep. There was an officer leaving the scene looking very suspicious. So I really think that Wayne had one of his cop homeboys plant that evidence, okay? Because Wayne, he was in trouble. And we see in the next scene the feds, they're actually interviewing Gwen, okay? And he was, in the passenger side of the vehicle that Wayne was driving. And yeah, this is of course a flashback situation where Wayne is kind of recanting this whole situation with this high speed chase. So he was like, well, Wayne knew he effed up because the police department does not like high speed chases in residential areas because we have helicopters for that. We do not want to risk human lives for high speed chases. And what did Wayne do? What did Wayne the cowboy do? He said, F that. I want some money and some drugs because I got to go to the script club. Okay, we going to talk about that later. But yeah, he knew. This is the very reason that we do not do high speed chases. Okay, so of course, Wayne, since he found the fake evidence, he gets off again. All right. Oh Lord. So we see the feds. We're investigating somebody new to the scene. Okay, Detective Ward. Ward got some experience with your boy Wayne too. He was working under Wayne, and your boy Ward, he over there singing like a canary. Okay, he's telling all of the biz naives. Okay, shout out to Little Scrappy. Like your boy, he was pretty much singing like, "This is my sorry for 2004." Like he was just confessing all of his sins. He was getting his usher on the Ruben stutter of it all. Like he was really up in there singing, okay? And so, he had a whole pad of incidents that he's confessing to. But he's saying, like, oh, wait, there's more, okay? You guys want to know more? And he was like, yeah. So let me tell you about 2015, okay? We was at the Belvedere Towers and whatnot. And yeah, we saw some dudes out there chilling. And we decided, you know what? Let's go get these fools because Wayne knows there's some drugs up in these vehicles. So Wayne, committing another crime, tells these fools that he is the feds, okay? And he had heard that there was some inkling of some drug activity. So he went ahead and made the boys, you know what I'm saying, sit down. I would say young men, sit down on the stoop on the curb while he searched the vehicle. Now, Wayne knew that there were cameras around. So he told Ward to inch up the vehicle to kind of distract from the camera for, searching the vehicle. And I'm like, this motherfucker here. Long story short, they end up finding money, okay? And they went ahead and skirt off. Okay, so there was no documentation, nothing. Okay, and the guys knew like, oh yeah, these guys, these cops, they done stole our stuff, and I'm like, Lord. And they stole a lot of money. I'm like, Lord, somebody's connect is gonna be pissed, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody end up murked from what just happened. So we see your boy, your boy, Wayne, he over there, parking in the alley, and they go out to the trunk and he starts dividing the funds. Okay. He gives Ward $5,000. He gives the other cop, I can't think of his name right now, but I believe I believe it's maybe Taylor. He gives him 5,000. And so they was like, this kind of light, bro. What about the rest? He was like, well, I gotta put a ram or what have you on the vehicle, the work vehicle. They was like, what? That don't make no sense. Why are you spending your own money to fix your employer's vehicle? Because you're already stealing from the drug dealers. So now you want to be above and beyond and use your own funds to fix this said vehicle or upgrade it. Nah, bro, we know that was a lie. He didn't want them really digging into his greed or what have you. Wayne, I got my good eyes on you today, bruh. Okay. So Wayne, he tells them some pivotal advice. Okay, he says, you know what? Don't be doing nothing stupid about this money. Don't be paying off no credit cards. Just trickle it slowly. Just act like it's not there. Okay. We don't want to alert nothing to nobody. All right. I'm like, Wayne, you were smart by telling that because I'm sure they would have went ahead and deposit that whole 5K up in their bank account and people would have been like, what are you doing with this? What's going on here? Oh Lord. So your boy Ward was like, well, that wasn't all that had happened that night. And I'm like, what else you gonna tell, bro? This is the pivotal scene. Like, did he murk somebody? No, no, no. They went ahead to the Scrippy Club. Okay, they went to the Script Club. Wayne over there getting a lap dance by Caucasian women. And he gonna tell her, you smell good for a white girl. I'm like, oh, do the white girls not be smelling good? Like, what's going on tonight? I thought they'd be down to the Bath and Body Works in Victoria's Secret, but I don't really smell white girls, so I don't know how they smell. But Wayne, that was kind of, I felt offended. Like, what you mean? So he sees this dwarf woman on the stage. Okay, so we have a dwarf stripper. Okay, and she is making them things clap, and I'm like, hold up, I know this girl. If y'all don't watch or didn't watch Little Women Atlanta, which was a reality show based in Atlanta, that was one of my favorite shows. Okay, like this stripper was actually on this show. Her name was Athera. I believe she's from Miami, Florida. I know she's from Florida, I believe. But yeah, I was like, okay, girl, get that money, okay. Wait, say, you know what? I'm gonna f her. And his partners was like, I mean, his co-workers was, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm gonna get that. So they end up going to the VIP room. A few minutes later, he was like, "Yo, we gotta go. We gotta go." I said, "What you do?" I had a flashback from like Players Club where Ebony, and I'm like, "Oh Lord, did he physically assault this like dwarf woman? Like, what's going on? She already a dwarf. Like, what are you doing, Wayne? What did you do?" So they went ahead, they skirted off, and they got in the car. He was like, "Bro, I robbed her." And they looking like, "Wayne, what you doing robbing a scripper? A midget scripper. She already got the script for the funds. We don't know how much money she getting with this state check because it's a disability. So she getting a check off that, or maybe not. Who knows? But she already have so many Lord, I can't talk. Adversities. Okay. She has a hard time in life, probably. And you went ahead and robbed her of some G's. I gotta take a drink on that, y'all. Wayne ain't shit. Nobody is off limits to this man. You don't rob the midget stripper. She's about to show you the time of your life. You could have been a repeat customer. You would have had and robbed her. And you just robbed some drug dealers. Like, you got bread. Like, not to get off track, but Wayne was getting so much money. Where was it going? Where? I need to see this man's house, his car. Like, was you setting up for your children's like college fund? Did you bury in the background? Where did this money go? You was stealing money, 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 money. All right, let me go back, okay? Speaking of Wayne, y'all, because this is the Wayne show. October 14, 2012 is certified Wayne Jenkins Day. Okay, this man gets his stripes, not stripes, but stripes with a K. He get his stripes. Y'all need to promote this man. But I ain't surprised based on episode 3 where they were just promoting everybody. They had Herschel all promoted. Like, this is what they do up in here in the Baltimore, okay? And so he over there pulling up on the squad, showing his stripes, doing the Roger Rabbit, like really just feeling himself, okay? He was like, I bought some beers. So come back to the station. We gonna get popping. It was like, oh, very cool. So he go ahead and pull up at the station. His little idol. Um, what was his name? I can't think of his name, y'all. But his little cop idol that he had or whatever. He bringing up the hard lemonade, the Mike's hard lemonade, and some other beers, and I'm like, this how you celebrate? Like, that's like low key a certified like wine cooler. I'm like, couldn't you have afforded some Patron by now, like some Patron, some Hennessy, like something. Uh, Whatever. I guess he was on the budget, y'all. So we see Suiter, okay? We taking a break from Wayne. Suiter, he's at the courthouse, and he's just, looking at the proceedings and just kind of seeing what's going on, peeping the scene. So he's realizing that ain't nobody want to be a part of no juror, no jury, in the city of Baltimore, okay? Because we see the judge or what have you, he's trying to, find some jurors for some cases. And in order to do so, he has to ensure that nobody has had any previous negative experiences with the police department. Of course, everybody got negative experiences with the police department. Even the white man said, hey, I was at a BLM rally and they done hemmed me up. And I'm white. So, yeah. Your boy, Suitor, he was like, "What is going on here? Like, dang, this is the effect that we have on the peoples." Yes, Suitor, not you, but you go over there to your boy Wayne and them. They go on and yeah, Herschel, all them is the issue. Okay, so we see Nicole Steele, she hard at work every day, okay? She don't take a day off, all right? And she low key, finds out from her coworker that yeah, there's a official list of perjured officers, officers who has perjured on the stand, sworn officers, and yeah, they're still on the force, okay? They didn't get fired, no repercussions whatsoever. And we remember when she went to see I believe was a judge where he mentioned that as well. So Nicole, she's over it, okay? So she takes Ahmed and was like, you know what, we got places to go, okay? And so y'all, we skirt back to 2013, okay? And yeah, we had another stop and actually find, some legitimate, drugs and guns and what have you. But Wayne, he get the ring a ding ding from the wifey talking about the little bratty behind son don't want to play t-ball, and he skirt off the scene. Was like, I got to handle this business. I'm like, oh, well, I low key ain't. I can't say I ain't mad, but you can't just be leaving the scene with a crime like that, sir. Something could have went bad, okay? And yeah, you leaving work early. We gonna get into that later. And yeah, tell her to handle it. Like you can't handle it, girl. I forgot his wife's name, but yeah, well, I would not tell my husband that these kids messing up. You need to take off work. No, let him handle that at 6 o'clock. If I ain't finished, with the kids, cause I probably ready to beat them or repercut. Just did what I needed to do, cause they scared of me too. Like, oh God. Anyway, he leaves. He goes over to see his boy Donnie, okay, at the bail bondsman office, okay, and yeah, he was telling him the lowdown on the whole situation with the wifey. He was like, yeah, did you think about that thing that we was talking about? So Donnie was giving him a little look, okay. So we, I guess, flashback to later on that evening. We at Donnie's house. We got a little lakefront situation. I'm like, yeah, this is what Wayne need to be having with all this money he's stealing, okay. So long story short, Wayne is selling the drugs to Donnie, okay? He wants to set up drug deals with your boy Donnie, okay? And Donnie old bougie behind was like, I just want to do the coke. I just want coke. Any other stuff I ain't playing around with. I'm like, well, if you gonna be crooked all the way. What, you scared, Donnie? You scared? I mean, Wayne, he probably got a little her on. You know how they say her on. He probably got pills. He got the weed, and you scared. You scared of the other drugs. You want to stick to coke because that's probably the white drug. That's up to his level. I'm like, Donnie, whatever. And so Donnie was like, yeah, we can do about 15K steady. So I don't know what they mean by steady, but it seemed like it's gonna be a weekly or monthly situation. So I'm like, 15K from the drugs that you selling. Then you stealing drug money and drugs from the drug dealers. And you working. And you just got a promotion. Like, now I could see if you had a motive where you got a sick kid, some John Q action, or, mama, need an operation. But I don't think Wayne got any really serious reason to be stealing all this money and selling all these drugs. Boy. So we see the feds, they over there meeting up, having a little huddle. And, they're discussing how, the gun trace task forces got some dirty people in there, okay? Your girl Erica was talking about, well, I think I should alert the superior Wayne, okay? Because he needs to know that, he got some crooked officers in his midst. And so Kirkpatrick, he was looking at, the other young fella, McDougal, and they was looking like, she was like, what's going on? Why y'all looking like that? So Kirkpatrick was like, yeah, I kind of caught Gondo on the wire talking about Wayne, and yeah, it looks like Wayne dirty too. So she was like, oh my word, because she was saying Wayne was a cowboy, but he didn't seem like he was crooked or anything. And I was just like, even if he was clean, I still wouldn't have let Wayne know nothing. Don't tell Wayne nothing about what's going on with your investigation. You don't know ish about Wayne. You talking about he a cowboy, but he good. He good people. He a good man, Savannah. Girl, come on. So we see Steele and Ahmed, they meeting with the commissioner, right? She's asking him the questions, okay? She's like, yo, what's up with these perjury situations with these officers, okay? And he was like, yeah, it started a long time ago with the state's attorney and the department. They was beefing way back when. And so, yeah, it's caused some issues. It's caused some issues in our city. And she's just wondering, like, why are these cops still on the situation? Like, why are they still hired and not fired? It doesn't make sense. And she was telling the man, like, yo, bro, like, even if it was some beef back then, you got the power. I got the power. You got the power to fire these fools. But you scared, Commissioner. You scared. You a punk. So 2014. The boy Wayne, the cowboy Wayne, done had some man flip his car and he low key ran over the dude. I'm like, Wayne. So he in deep, you know what? Okay, he got a gash, he got blood all up in here in his face and whatnot. So other officers come on the scene, and your boy Gwen, he was the officer in charge, what have you. So he's looking like this fool ain't up to no good, okay? And so this man, that so-called Wayne told his story is that this man put a gun in his face and was threatening his life. There was no gun on the scene, so Wayne he feeling the way, okay? So he calls Keith, not Sweat, but Keith, to bring a gun to the scene to corroborate his story. It's some BS, okay? So his homeboy, he was in there, eating his Peruvian chicken and whatnot. So he went over there and politely put the gun underneath a tire on a parked vehicle 2 to 5 feet away from another officer. How was you able to plant this gun in such a way where nobody noticed you? These are trained officers and nobody noticed you putting this gun ever so lightly underneath this tire or next to this tire. Like there was an officer literally 5 feet away and he had his back turned. But I'm like, as an officer, you need to be on your swivel. You got to be on your P's and Q's. And you not notice a person 5 feet away from you and you on a crime scene. This whole thing is stupid, okay? So Studer, he's over there, he's still at the courthouse. And I think he's at, maybe like a public defender's office or, a lawyer, what have you. Because his office was messy, them lawyers' offices, their offices be looking real messy. I just wanted to tidy it up because I hate the clutter or whatnot. But anywho, Suda was like, this some bullish. Like, what is going on here? Why we can't find no jurors, okay? And so I would just call him the lawyer. He went ahead and just said, like, look, bro, it's bad out here, okay? You guys have a bad impression on these citizens, okay? Out of 180 people that we called, only 7 of them were willing to talk to the police, okay? 7 people out of 180. Bruh, bruh. That's what I can't even break it down, but what's that? I don't even think like maybe 2.5% or something like that. I'm sorry, I'm not. Math ain't mathing right now, but that's low as hell. Okay, like what is going on there? Okay, so we see Syriac, Erica's partner, y'all. Lord, let me take a drink. He over there working hard for the money and did some digging and found a false report from your boy Wayne. Okay, and this report was coupled with a video surveillance that just had nothing to do and did not agree with Wayne's report. Okay, so long story short, Wayne pulled somebody over. There was nothing found. He talked to the man for 60 minutes. And then he took the man to jail for some drugs. And so Wayne, we see Wayne over there viewing the tape with one of his colleagues, and he looking stressed and up in his chest. Cause he know he in some deep ish, okay? Well, maybe because we working for. So she was like, "This doesn't look good, Wayne. This doesn't look good." So not only is he talked to this man for 60 minutes. What are you talking to for 60 minutes? Are you trying to tell him about Jehovah's return? Like, what is going on here for the 60 of the minutes? So he ended up texting the prosecutor, low key threatening her, talking about his reputation was at stake. So the prosecutor pretty much just, so you know what? It was recommended that Wayne be demoted, suspended, and fined or what have you. And so they're asking like, why did it happen? So we cut back to the interrogation of your boy Detective Wayne. He was like, why ain't nothing happened to Wayne? Ward was like, you know why? You know why? Because Freddie Gray happened, and his case pretty much got swept under the rug, child. Oh Lord. So we go to the Freddie Gray situation. There's an uprising, as the young lady said in episode 1 or 2. There was an uprising, okay? And so yeah, we see the people in the streets, they're upset, they're angry, they damage their vehicles. We see the cops over there trying to protect and serve, okay, whatever. And so Wayne, he at the station, he turned up, he see Herschel on the TV on the front lines, like he is turned up. So they hear on the radio, like, breaker, breaker 19, some officers down. So Wayne was like, oh, they playing with us? They playing with us? Officers down? Oh, nah, bro, let's tool up, let's go. So he get this young African American female to go with him. I'm like, girl, you need to go just make some coffee or something. You don't got nothing to do with this. Like, don't. She go with him, y'all. And Wayne over there thinking he fast and furious in the parking lot, just skirting, okay, thinking he Vin Diesel. I'm like, Wayne, calm down. And Auntie, she was like, Wayne, you need to calm down too. I was like, yeah, because he was going way too fast. And so, they go ahead and go on the front lines, what have you. There was a situation where a dude, he took a rock, went ahead and, there was some confrontation. Nobody was, hurt or what have you. But yeah, your boy Wayne, at the end of the day, he done went to Kentucky Fried Chicken or your nearest chicken spot and bought everybody chicken. He done spent 600 of them things. $600 on chicken. Wayne is the Oprah of chicken. You get a bucket. You get a bucket. You get a bucket. Oh boy. So later on that night, we're still at this uprising. He's, passed by this Rite Aid that's been looted, whatever. So another officer comes like, hey, Wayne, you need backup? He's like, nah, I'm straight, bro. I'm straight. I'm good. I was like, yeah, you good. All right. So he hears, some people rumbling in there. So he just sits back outside, just chilling. See the people come out. And yeah, they over there looting. So they got 2 bags, trash bags, filled with the pharmaceuticals, okay? The oxys, all the drugs, okay? So Wayne made them drop it. They ran off. He takes the bags for himself. He drops the bags off to his boy Donnie, like, hey, bro, I need you to offload this. Like, for real, for real. I don't even know what half this stuff is. There's 18 syllables on these things. Like, I don't know. I was like, Wayne, you don't need to be selling it if you can't pronounce it, bruh. But I digress. So we see, a couple days later or the next day, we see the DA on TV talking about bringing charges to the people involved in the Freddie Gray case. Of course, Wayne upset. He wanted, start a GoFundMe for the officers so they can have some defense. Oh boy. But yet we had another stop. But we find Coke, a half a key of Coke on these dudes, okay? And so Wayne was like, this dealer, he got some more bread. So he had dispatch find this man's address. They went to the guy's house in the basement to find a safe. And find the safe. So Wayne was like, okay, we need a warrant. So They went ahead and got a warrant. They kept Ward there to babysit. While he was babysitting, the wife and the sister come to the house. Then he ended up calling for backup because they was being all, rowdy because of course it's a cop in their house. So a couple hours later, Wayne comes back with a crowbar. They end up going in the safe, and it was a couple hundred of the thousand up there, okay? But the drug dealer said it was only about 100,000. So Wayne was like, okay, let's cut out the 100,000, put that in there, and take the rest, okay? So he was like, okay, well, we need to make sure we got some proof of this, okay? So we going to go ahead and record us reopening this case, okay? This safe. So he was like, okay, this is how we gonna do, okay? He was over there being, Scorsese and Tarantino, whatever. He directed. He was like, okay, bro, you do this, you do that. I'm gonna say action. Go make sure you guys are on the same page. So he goes upstairs. They take out the phone, starts recording the whole interaction with opening the safe. Wayne comes down. He was like, oh my, everybody's like, oh my God, look at all this money, look at all this money. Wayne over there was like, okay, stay back, social distancing, stay back. Gotta call the high trafficking, department over here. This is good police work. If it's over $5,000 in there, we gotta report it. We gotta report it. This is good police work. This is by the book. I'm like, Wayne, you are putting on 20 on 10, bruh. Everybody know you cricket, but whatever. Oh Lord. So they asking, your boy Ward, because he's recanting this whole situation, asking him, what he do with his share, because he got 20 of them things. He was like, he took a long walk, like he just got left the money in the woods. And they was like, why? He was like, it wasn't the money, it was the amount. My wife is an officer of the law as well, and I can't have her a part of this. I'm like, you already had her a part of this, bro. Y'all married. Lord. So Erica, she's talking about how much she is of an idiot because she could have messed this whole case up by telling Wayne if McDougal and Kirkpatrick wouldn't being better cops than her. I'm like, yeah, girl, whatever. And so we cut to 2016, about 16 so months before Ward is being, interviewed. And yeah, they're at this team building situation in this bar, and they breaking down how much overtime they're getting out of this situation, okay? Their overtime is pretty much just as much or more than their base salary. And so they was asking Wayne, like, bro, like, how are we getting approved for this overtime? He was like, you know what, since our numbers are so up, the people, the head Negro or, person in charge, he was like, what you need to keep getting these results, bruh? Because your department doing the damn thing. He was like, more overtime. So they was like, have at it. Get all the overtime you need. The taxpayers paying it anyway. And I'm like, yeah, this some BS. But Wayne, he ends the scene, was like, we own this city. We own this. I was like, you got darn do. Because you're doing everything you want to do. Everything you want to do. Everything you want to do in this city, okay? Anybody from Baltimore, I'm sorry. I love your accent. No harm done, okay? But you guys drop down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Sorry for this long review, but it was a lot going on, okay? We got to reconvene part 5 because, whew, it's a lot. So please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, holla at your girl next week. Ciao.